So since I reviewed the new one, there's really no point in me saying what the plot is, because you already know. Just to let you know, the Swedish version was released in 2009 in the USA, and it is directed by, let's see if I can get this right, Niels Arden Oplev, and it stars Michael Nyqvist, Noomi Rapace from the recent Sherlock Holmes film, and Lena Ander. If I mispronounced those, apologies. Instead of actually reviewing it, because that's, you know, basically just like reviewing the American version, but, you know, it's different obviously, but still the same basic thing. What I want to do instead is talk about the first time that I saw this film, which was in a hotel room. And the reason I'm going to talk about it is because it was kind of a turning point for me. It opened my eyes to how good foreign films were. Because as I mentioned in my earlier review, I'm not really a huge fan of foreign films. I've never, you know, been that interested in them. People always say, you know, you need to try new things, and I have. Just that, you know, I'm not that attracted to them overall, so, you know, just personal taste. We were on vacation, and I, you know, was flipping through the movies, and nothing really looked good, and then I saw that they had this movie on there, so I turned it on, and, like, within the first 5 minutes, I was just completely blown away. It was an interesting story. I was invested in the characters, despite it being a long movie, you know. I mean, there were some boring parts, and then there were some more exciting parts, but I was pretty much, you know, glued to the screen the entire time. And I was just shocked, you know, because I'd never liked a foreign film before, and I was just like, whoa, this is different. When it comes to comparing and contrasting the main players, you know, obviously you have Daniel Craig and Michael, what was his name, Nyqvist? I don't remember. The guy in the Swedish version, he's kind of more relaxed, laid back, and just kind of, you know, lets the information flow through him, you know, he's not really all that anxious. And Daniel Craig, great actor, he takes it more in a serious direction. He's a little bit more persistent, I found, and he's not just gonna kind of like sit back and just kind of let the material come in. He's like, you know, really looking through this material, going, okay, what am I missing? There's gotta be something here that I'm missing. And in terms of Lisbeth Salander, now that I've looked at both films, literally I see two completely different characters here, even though it's the same person but different actors. In the Swedish version, I found that Noomi Rapace made her, like, when you look at her walking down the street, you think to yourself, I don't want to mess with her. But when you get to know her, she's just not really a fun time, but she knows what she's doing, and she doesn't want you to get in her way. She's just, you know, if you leave me alone, I'll do my thing, I'll get the job done. And I found with Rooney Mara, she's really just, I found her to be like an angry bitch who just didn't give a shit about anything, and was like, look at me wrong, you're dead. Something else I found interesting was that there's an age difference here between the actors in both movies. Daniel Craig is 8 years younger than Michael Nyqvist, and Noomi Rapace is 6 years older than Rooney Mara. So I find that age difference a bit interesting because, you know, you have the older people who are solving this case, and then you have the younger people solving this case, and I wonder if that affected the screenplay, because generally the way in which older people and younger people solve cases is different, and at the rate that they solve it is also different. Without considering how it's just, you know, one mystery, you know, you just got different actors playing it, probably not that much big of a difference. So as I said in my other review, I like this movie better than the American version. I'm not looking to pick a fight, just my opinion. So I am giving The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Swedish version, 4 out of 5 stars.